Hello and welcome back to the 25Ks in GeoGuessr. This week, we're going to go to the beautiful country of Iceland. Now, there is only one problem with this. No one has 25K this map yet. We'll see if we can be the first ones to do that. The main problem here in Iceland, if you look at the times as well, that's quite funny actually. No one below like 1.5 hours. The problem with Iceland is that it has a lot of very long roads that don't give you many reference points to help you out in pinpointing. So what you want to hope for is locations either in cities or towns or somewhere in a curve, maybe somewhere over a bridge, anything that helps you not be on a long straight road basically. We're going to get a long straight road. I can already see it coming, but we're just going to do our best to pinpoint it anyway. Default settings, no time limit, moving allowed. There we go. Challenge, of course. Here's the link, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Hello and welcome to a long straight road. God damn it. All right. I mean, there is a side road here. I don't know if any of those will show up on the map, but there is hope. I'm also worried about how the road suddenly turns to sort of a dirt road here and then the coverage stops. All right. I guess it takes the choice of where we want to go away from us. It's mostly, in most cases, that's a good thing. And the map description specifically said that there is no cut-off coverage here. So this direction should give us more than enough information for us to choose a location on the map. All right, it goes onto a bigger road here. There you go, Votmuli on the 310. Road numbers are your best friend in Iceland. The 310 has to be somewhere in this area. To be more precise, let's take a look. Here's 312, 314, 308. It's almost a 310. Here's the 310. Right south of Selfoss. Okay. And it goes towards Votmuli. I would assume if we look at this that we're currently here. I don't see how we would be anywhere else. I do not see where this Votmuli town is. But we won't. We won't need to know that. What I do want to check is quickly, have a look at this sign. Show it tells me Gera. And that is something we saw right here. So I was just checking that to make sure that there was no that the 310 didn't continue somewhere else. Mainly because I didn't see that that town that the sign was pointing to. Now what we're going to have a look at, we're somewhere here. Just to make sure, does this have a name? No, it doesn't. And there is nothing down here that really shows as much. So what I'd like to check out is, can we find this slight curve in the road? Looking over here, it looks pretty straight. It could potentially be beyond here. Selfoss is a reasonably large town, so I wouldn't be surprised if the sort of distance we traveled so far would only get us to here. And especially because if we walk the other way, there is no curve like that. This is just this curve. This one here. Let's have a look back at this. This road down here will most likely be the same as this road right here. Now this building is something I want to look out for. Does it exist on the map? It could very well be this shack. I'm almost entirely, I'm almost certain of it. So what we're going to do is we're counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That also confirms just that this little pathway is not on the map because that would be here. Just to make sure, yes, this house corresponds to this and the one behind it is this house. So we're absolutely correct in that assumption. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're about a third of the way. Does that roughly match up? 1, 2, 3. I think that roughly matches up. Yeah, it could be slightly further over here, like this. But I think it's not going to get much closer unless I pull out a ruler. But I personally consider that cheating. So we're going to have to make do with this. And again, just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it sort of fits. It was 9 this way and 17 the other way. So we're actually a bit closer over here, perhaps. Let me look at this again. This is over there. This is over there. Let's go with this. Yeah, I think we'll fine with this here. So we're guessing, and we weren't fine with this here. Well, rest in peace. Chance to get us 25k, and on to the next round we go. This might work. We've got one turn off. That's very close here. Runa. Okay. This, just based on the feel we get from the landscape and everything, I'm suspecting that we're somewhere up here. For a couple of reasons, mainly because anything that looks like we're going north or south is most likely not along the southern border here. I say border, well, it's southern coast. So it could realistically still be like somewhere over here, but most of the traveling north-south is somewhere along these coasts. And well, we're just gonna have to do what you always do in Iceland. You search for signs, pretty much. I haven't looked at whether there are area codes or something like that to help you out in Iceland. I don't think they would help you much. If you are in a city, then you're most likely going to find out which city it is anyway. And you're going to find it on a map because Iceland doesn't necessarily have a lot of cities. And yeah, I just don't think it would be worth it to know. I mean, it probably doesn't hurt if you do know, but it's just not worth your time. All right, we've got a long, I want to say lake. It could still be a river or something like that, but it looks more like a lake to our west. Iceland doesn't necessarily have a lack of water all around, so I don't think that alone would be enough to help us locate where exactly we are. Like, you could just say maybe we're here along this lake. We could be. I just, I'd rather look for something that actually tells me if we are. Even though that might well mean having to travel for quite some time. All right, the lake comes a bit closer. What do we have here? Wait, where did it go? Oh, it's still in front there. I think that's just a reflection of the houses back there onto the water, which is less helpful than I thought it would be. And so we have no choice other than to keep going this way. We could go back to the start, turn around, go the other way. Gravel road ahead. Well, that doesn't fill me with confidence that we're going to find more this way. What also doesn't fill me with confidence is that it seems like the game is becoming slower and slower, which is not good. Okay, we're on the 1, which is not particularly helpful because that's the road that goes all around the entire country, along the coast. Okay, it is a gravel road. You know what? We're going back. Let me just quickly do something here. All right. If I just, minimized OBS so that it doesn't have to, show me what I'm recording on the second screen as well, basically to reduce the usage of my graphics card. I don't know if it actually helps a lot, but I suppose it helps a bit, and I need as much help as I can get to load this as fast as possible, because we're gonna have to travel quite some distance. On the upside, on the plus side, this seems like it would be fairly easy to pinpoint, but it all depends on how long it takes us until we find some useful information. You might remember some of the signs we've seen right at the start. I don't think that's as helpful, but I might have a look at it regardless. Yeah, okay, this is very not helpful. They're mostly just signs that tell you, you know, something of note, which is called this is in that direction. But it's usually not city names or even town names. So it's relatively useless to try and figure out where you are on the map of Iceland if you don't have anything to narrow it yourself down. Long straight roads, yep. This is the typical round you get in Iceland that you don't want to see. I really wish it would load faster. I've had some problems with GeoGuessr loading slow as hell, like it is right now, recently. I don't exactly know where it comes from. What I usually try to do is then delete like the cache in my browser. But it usually it helps for one round maybe, and then the cache is full again. And I don't really know. I wish it would just not be a thing, but there's nothing much I can do about it from what I've seen or what I've tried. So I'll just have to accept it. Is that the coast? I presume it is. Could very well be. Yeah, it has to be. Again, probably these signs not very helpful, but I'm going to check them out just in case. Krossgerði. Does that say 11 or does it mean 2? I think it's more likely to mean 2. Okay. Yep, totally normal coverage here. It's doing 90-degree turn in the middle of the road. Oh, well, isn't this spectacular? The coverage ends here. This is interesting. There's a lot of land over there. Could be something like this here, I guess. No, it wouldn't be. The land is to the west. Just gonna have a look around here. What could it be? It wouldn't be down here. This would theoretically fit, but I don't think there was... Like, as you can see right here, we don't have water here, and I think that water would show up. Something like this doesn't fit either, really. Nope, nothing here. I'm just looking through it all. I'm kind of struggling to find a place that would fit. This is on the right side, but the road direction is wrong. Then we go along here, and all of that doesn't work because we're not on the coast. This doesn't work because the road direction is wrong. All of that doesn't work because we're not on the southern coast. And then we go all the way across here, basically. And I think most of this doesn't work because we're on the coast on the wrong side here. Something like around here maybe might work, but I don't see what we had before. I mean, either way, I don't think we can continue that way, which is very annoying. Because that means we have to go back here, and we have to travel in that direction again. It said runna. As I said before, it's not helpful. You know what I might have to do? I might cut this out. I've not cut out anything before on a video of this series, but this is literally going to be me now traveling in the same direction as I did before for 3 to 5 minutes without finding any new useful information. And I might not find any other useful information for minutes past that. This is unfortunate. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. I might actually get there faster than I thought, though, to be honest. Because I don't think I traveled for too long in this direction before the dirt road came and I was like, okay, we're not going this way. And at the end of the day, we have to go this way after all. A lot of Iceland, unfortunately, I think I've mentioned this before briefly, but a lot of Iceland has very little signage, especially in rural areas such as this, where you're basically on the main road, and unless there's a side road that travels off of it, you're not going to find any signage towards cities or towns. And, well, depending on the stretch of road you're at, there is no side road going off of it. But yeah, I think I've successfully somehow talked my way through this. And we're back at the gravel road. So I didn't have to cut out anything after all. Yeah, this just shows us what we already knew. We're on the one. Seen that sign last time we came here. And it's cut off here again. Okay. That is not good. I'll have to send that to Topodic, I guess. Because this is definitely like coverage that is cut off. And there is definitely not enough information to accurately, like, or to even find out where you are. So, I mean, I'm going to try my best to figure it out anyway. This would fit with the lake we've got here, but we don't have the coast south of us anywhere. So it can't be here. It has to be over here somewhere. But none of the locations that I've looked at here make much sense. It could be this, but there's like an airport and everything here that we definitely didn't see, and we didn't see this turn of here. So it can't realistically be here either, and this lake is way too small. Where else could we be? I think this is actually quite interesting though to look at as well, even if we can't actually pinpoint it, because it shows how you kind of sometimes you just don't get enough information, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you're just gonna have to make do with whatever information you can get. The thing that's worrying me here is that the direction is kind of weird. Because if you look at it here, if you remember, we travel sort of to the north here, a bit to the northwest, following the mountain range. And to the south, we traveled east. I'm going to have another look here at whether there was actually anything that could lead you over to the west, but I don't think there is. I think it just turns into the sea here. Which is something that doesn't happen a lot here. It could honestly be here. But no, even then we'd have to travel through this town, which we didn't see. Can't be here. I'm just following the one at this point, basically. Trying to figure out where we could be. But nothing matches up. Nothing works. So I'm going to go back here. This doesn't work. Even assuming and, figuring that maybe the sign, saying we're on the one might be wrong. But even then, most of this doesn't work. I honestly feel this might be the best match. But do we have any roads going off here? Glacier horses. Something like this. For the, even though the water is clearly missing here, but there's this mess around here, which could mean something like, which could show something like this. I'm gonna have to look around, because I think going based off of directions and everything in the road, this is the only place in all of Iceland that my 5-minute search can find. It could also, actually, now that I think about it, it could be here. Let me look at this. Is there anything? I think this is the only other place that can fit. And now it's just a question of, do I trust? This is also just kind of all kinds of weird here. I'm not sure if this is correct, map-wise. And this definitely isn't. It's just the map that's all kinds of wrong here. I trust the road. What I don't trust is the map beyond it. And I'll just have to kind of figure out if the road directions match up here. Let me see. This goes north. It makes a turn to the west. Then it curves back around to the north. It makes another turn to the west. And then it sort of goes back to the northwest and then stays that direction for quite some time. And I think that honestly sort of fits. We say, or if we even down here, like make that turn to the west, go back north, go back west, and then sort of stay northwest for a long time. And then it sort of curves back to the north a bit, but still stays mostly northwest. It curves back more to the west. The curvature fits. Makes that turn over here once it finally decides to load. And it just mostly stays that way. And then eventually it'll go more towards the west, like this does here. The question is just right now, does it turn west far enough? Does it actually go west? And I think it does. It almost goes back on itself here. Still goes west towards the water, and then it curves back north, which would suggest this curve, and then there's the mountain, so it would have to turn back around like this. I'm honestly kind of confused on where the hell the road even goes here. It actually goes up here and past here, doesn't it? It might fit. I still don't see where exactly this road is supposed to be, but it might fit. Going down here, there's a turn towards the east. Actually, it's more still like kind of south. Then it turns more and more east. And after that, just more and more east before it eventually turns back. Yep, it's just this here. Okay, then it does that little thing here, this here. Then it goes almost straight east. Yeah, this is definitely the right place. Problem we have now is we don't have that road on the map, do we? Side road. So it's going to be impossible to pinpoint anyway. We're almost traveling away, so I think we're somewhere here. And the curve, actually though, this curve is a bit sharper than it looks like on the map. I'm obviously not saying I think we're not here. I think at this point it's clear we are. But it kind of makes me hesitate on putting us here, or maybe putting us down here. There's something called green rock to our south. Let me actually see if I can figure out what the hell that is. Is that a green rock? Not really, is it? Where is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be after the turn. So I guess after the next curve, if you manage to make it past there. Yeah, I don't see a green rock. I have to be honest with you. It certainly looks like some weird rocks, but I don't see one that's particularly green. I'm just sort of procrastinating having to make a choice. I think we have to be here somewhere though, because that is a significant turn. It would be so much more helpful if we actually had those side roads here. We're gonna go here. And I'm just gonna hope for the best. Almost. You know what? I'm actually really happy with that, considering how little information we had there. Let me actually check that. Like how cut off the coverage is. That's not what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Yep, there's the cutoff in coverage. And on the other half, it's here. There's also this weird thing here. What I'd like to see is, what is this actually like? So this continues. This just doesn't follow the actual road at all. The actual road goes up here and through here. Okay, that explains it. The reason why there's a lack of coverage here, to quickly explain that, is because Google coverage can only sort of snap to a road that's already existing on the map. So technically, if you put coverage here, it can't exist as official Google coverage because there's no road here according to the map, when in actuality the road goes here and not here. So the reason why there's no coverage here is because the map is wrong. So when I said earlier, I trust the map rather than, or like I trust the roads rather than the map, I actually should have done the opposite. And thankfully it sort of fit around here at least. And this is actually interesting here then. In this case, I mean up here, it's sort of the same. The satellite map and the real map. Down here, it's actually quite different. There's a massive piece of land here missing. Obviously makes pinpointing not any easier. But, all right, we've wasted enough time talking about this. Like a full 2 minutes of the next round. And Jesus Christ. Oh God. This is not any better than what we've had previously. I hope this time we at least find some signs. I don't want to look through the whole coast of Iceland again. We are at the coast again, at least. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, to be honest. We've got more of these signs, as always. Not particularly helpful. Let's just go. Let's see. What do we have on this sign? A hotel. Smyrlabjörg. Okay, that might actually be on the map somewhere. Still not something that I'd find, but it might exist as something that is findable. I even feel like I recognize it, to be honest. I think I've seen it somewhere while map searching before, but I couldn't swear on it. What do we have here? GeoGuessr. All information that isn't really helpful. I'm thinking this is just going to say the exact same. It would, even if I could read it. This is the one? Of course it's the one. That's... in a lot of countries you have that sort of thing where you're like, I kind of want to be in a major highway. Just because you'll find more signs and stuff like that. In Iceland, it's the opposite. If there's one place in Iceland where you definitely don't want to be in GeoGuessr, it's the one. Because that's like the place where you've got the least amount of signs anywhere. Okay. What does that say? Skalafell, 20 kilometers. Let me zoom in here again. This says Skaftafell, which isn't quite the same thing. Let me zoom in here. Is there a hotel here? This is Sandfell. Maybe fell just means... could mean waterfall. That would probably be more realistic and cool or something like that. Probably means mountain then. This is Skaftafell, where would Scalafell be? Of going off of road directions. I mean, this sort of place would make sense generally. Anything else? What about... Okay, the one's not up here, so it can't be there. You know what? We're just continuing. We're looking for something else. Scalafell 2. Okay. Not great. Just telling us more stuff we already knew. What does this say? There's a little sign here. Kolgrima. It's a bridge. The water here actually looks quite cool. A bridge might be helpful to figure out something. Just to confirm, there's no bridge here, is there? No, there isn't. All right, and so we just continue. And at this point, knowing like with the experience we've got from last round, I don't want to turn around and go back the other direction because you might just get stuck there. So this way it is, as long as it takes. And eventually, it does look like there's a town at least in the distance. We might reach that, and then we've got something we can look for. Is that okay? That's not helpful. I think we've just moved past what I thought was a town. Oh God. Tell me in the comments if in the future this is something that you want to see me just going through the middle of nowhere trying to look for information, or if you'd rather I just cut... Oh God, this is the worst thing in GeoGuessr. If you click somewhere and it teleports you back. Or if in the future you'd rather want me to cut it out. This is a bigger bridge. Because there's really like, you're going to see a lot of the countryside here. And I imagine it could be quite pretty, but at the same time I'm going through this relatively fast for obvious reasons. Okay. So most of the time it's going to be blurry anyway. Bit too far. Still unreadable. Hodmur. I mean, I guess the only thing that this is good for is it definitely shows you that I'm not cheating. But at the same time, why would I anyway? Actually, this, I mean, it's just going to say the same thing, isn't it? It's actually not the same thing. Flajökull. That's something that's here somewhere. Isn't there a mountain that... That's Öræfajökull. Pretty close naming still. What does that have? Nothing useful, nothing useful. You know, I recently played a seed on Iceland that was super easy. Where we had like a 4-minute time limit, I think, and I 25k'd that without too many issues. And now we get this. Nope. Not helpful. This is a town. Come on. You gotta have a name. A name that I can find on the map, preferably. You know what? Never mind. It's not going to. I've been just traveling to the east for a long time, you know. This one, no, didn't have a town name on it. Even more bridges over just little inlets of water. I really wish there would just be a side road here that tells me a number so that I at least know which area I have to look in. Although again, I think we're somewhere similar to... yes, finally. Rauderberg, 986. That's actually not what I expected at all. I mean, you know, it's not far off. Where is that actually? That's 966. the road numbers here generally do make sense to an extent. Like they're sort of grouped together by the first digit, but within that they can be like they can vary wildly. I don't think like yeah. What I can look at is down here. Realistically, this road has to be somewhere here. That's what I thought. That's the Hotel Smilabjörk. Next, where's the 986? The 986 is here, so that's how far I walked. And we started relatively close to that hotel, if I remember correctly. Let's be close to the water. Down here, actually, I think. Actually, up here. That's where we started. How far away from... Okay. There's like a small road here. I have no doubts that it's not on the map. Of course not. Can zoom in as much as I want. It's not there. It's great. So the only thing I can kind of do is I can count to get a rough estimate. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'd say that's sort of where the curve starts. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The curve already starts here pretty much. So we're a lot further down. Can I get a better view of this over here? I think it's this thing here. This little part is what I'm looking for. I think I could be relatively, like just slightly below it. I think this position is actually good. So I'm gonna go with that. Yes, finally. We got a 5K. I hate this so much. All right. You know, we could have seen some nice Icelandic cities, right? Well, so much for that. Is this the one again? It might be, honestly. You can get... That's kind of the disadvantage of doing only one seed for this. Like, my goal isn't to get like 25k in every country. My goal is to get as good as a score as I physically can in my first attempt at any country. This is more useful. Thank you for the signs here. Okay. Somewhere up here. Potentially. 901 and F905. The F numbers, that's here. And that's Mödradula, so Mödrudalur, sorry. So we're somewhere over here. And of course we were on the one again. Alright. But yeah, the goal isn't to get 25k in all countries. The goal is to, you know, be as good as I can. And that unfortunately also means that sometimes we're just getting shit seeds. Like this one. Okay, we go down a bit here. And then it's a very long straight before we go back towards the south, towards the north, sorry. That's a pretty sharp turn. Then we get a parking spot here. Could that be this parking spot? It might be, honestly. Let me have a look. Of course, there's no actual road marking there. It's pretty straight from here. And as soon as we go east, there's a bit of west, there's a bit of a curve. If you go west again, if we continue that, we'll get to that curve. Go south, or like southwest in this case. Then we make one more curve. We go more west, then one more, and then we go west to that. So that's one, that. Okay, this curve is this curve. Then this straight is this straight. What I'm currently in is here. Could that match? Yes, it could match. So we are somewhere here. I think we're further west, actually. Like over here. It's so hard to tell. Literally could be like anywhere from here to here. I think we're a bit further west. One more step. Over here. I'm gonna go with that. Just slightly too far. But again, I'm pretty happy with that. 34 meters. That is pretty exact. And, you know, even like the road, the coverage is off the road anyway. So we're already losing like a meter or two there. And, well, I mean, it's at least it's not the one. If we want to take some positives from this. Do you tell me a road number? Please do. It doesn't. How about, oh, you tell me a road number. The 54. All right. It's nice to know. The 54 is pretty long. That is less nice to know. It's pretty much the entire way from up over here. Actually, no, it's even further. It's from here all the way around the coast here to down here. So, what do we know? We know we've got water to our east. What do we know here? Oh, beautiful. Got Olafsvik. That's probably something we can figure out. It's to the north. Helisandur. Can I see any of these anywhere? The Stickishormur. That's something I can see. That's 49. I've got Grundarfjord. Something I can't see. Olafsvik Riff. All places I cannot see. Which is kind of annoying. Because then it makes it really hard to judge how far away we are from there. And I also can't really tell just because we're going north here. We might be here or here. Somewhere over there. Actually, looking at this, I think it's pretty clear we have to be here, which would mean that all of these cities have to be over here. Yeah, sorry, that makes more sense. Gronafjörður is here. And it says 49 this way and 68 to here. And then Olafsvik is 94. I don't know where Olafsvik and Riff are, but whatever. Which means we kind of have to be here, even though the distances don't really match up, I think. But I don't see any other... Oh, well. Could have just walked here, you know. It's the 54 and the 55. That's here. No, that's the 56. That's here. I guess that makes sense. Although this is going a lot more west than this looks. Let me have a look. Yeah. 67 to Borgarnes. Does that fit? 67 down here. Along the 55 actually. 67 down here. And 68 over here. That fits perfectly. It's just this being 40 something kilometers is a bit strange. 54 towards Búðardalur. Where even is that? Over here? Maybe? Probably somewhere. We crossed a bridge that's not here. Let me actually go up here for a bit just to check what that sign says. Nothing surprising. Then it sort of makes a turn there and that all makes sense. Oh, we did cross that bridge. Never mind, it is there. It's my bad. The only thing that's worrying me is this is just like very straight north. Like, sure, it goes a bit northwest, but like nowhere near as much as this. Like, if you look down north at this. Never mind, that fits. All right, I've just got a terrible judgment for directions. And we've got a curve not too far south of us here, which is this one. This is absolutely impossible to judge how far away that curve is because we've got no reference on the other side that's anywhere close. So what do? We guess and we hope. I feel like this is sort of a good place. Yeah, okay. Guessing there. 100 meters further north. Okay. Honestly, who cares at this point? We weren't on for the 25k anymore anyway. And with the horrible locations that we got, I think we did quite well. This was definitely the easiest location, even though we slightly messed that up either way. Then we had the mess that was this location with no information other than landscape and that we're on the one. Then we had this, which wasn't much better. It eventually provided us with the information that we were along the 86. Do any of those mountains? No, I don't think any of those show up on the map. So those couldn't have helped us either. Then we had this, which actually that might have been even easier than round 1 to figure out where you are. But actually, probably not, to be fair. I just walked in the wrong direction first in round 1. And then this was not easy. We had nothing that was easy to pinpoint, to be honest. And we're ending with 24,981 points in this horrible seed. But I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.